Oh man, it's embarrassing. But here's what I'm working on. This is yesterday's painting from Glen Rose. I'm going to work on a little bit of the contrast between the horns and the grass there. I have my palette out before me with an array of greens, of sap green and some permanent green. I'm going to play with those. I'll have a little bit of uh, Van Dyke Brown in this mix as well. We're going to see if we can make that longhorn separate from his background there without creating too much disturbance with the shadows of the yard. It's a subtle change there. I think I need more of a contrast. What will I do? Well, I'll spread some of this shadow around. It's still a dark enough color. We can always enhance the rest of it. No waste here. I'm painting in Stephenville, Texas today. I'm in my home and studio, enjoying the wet weather that we're having. Temperatures have gone down. North Texas, cowboy country. It's a beautiful, foggy morning. I was out earlier. I didn't set up my easel to paint, but I certainly was inspired to. We're getting towards that time of year when there's misty mornings, hillsides, dramatic light in the sky with the sunrises. It's a good time to get out and make paintings. The weather's usually pretty mild. I added some cadmium yellow light into that dark green mix. And yeah, it's changing that whole area there, but we can always add a little bit more blue to create some shadow back there. It's a push and a pull, an exercise of give and take, wax on, wax off. This was a pasture which I did not give enough room. I needed a bigger canvas to catch it. But yesterday I was driving on Highway 67 just outside of Glen Rose, and this very green patch of grass caught my eye. Along the highway, the landscape is the golden burnt Texas native grass. It's just prominent at this time of year everywhere. It's so just gold, crisp, fried blades of grass, really. Except for this little pasture that I passed. It was verdant, and it had these beautiful grazing horses and a mix of longhorn. There were guinea and chickens. There were miniature ponies, geese. It was like Noah's Ark out there. And it was on this little pasture that sloped up away from the highway. And on my way back, I just pulled over. I just pulled over. The sun was setting. It was probably about 4 o'clock, which January in Texas, the sun's already approaching it's approaching the horizon. Too much green. I overdid it right there. We'll take that back with a little bit of cerulean blue. You can see this painting that I started working on this weekend. That's also one that I'm working on now. I'll go between the two. This one went to the very difficult part of having to stick with the lettering. And this is a scene from the world famous Fort Worth Stockyards. This is the H3 Ranch on the corner there at Main and Commerce, the Letty's Boot and Saddlery. It was a busy Saturday night, and I went out there to specifically to begin this sketch here. It's something that has been on my mind, this corner, properly painting it, and I went out there and gave it a whirl, gave it an attempt, good old 1-2, and well, I found out, as I usually do, that I needed a bigger canvas for this project. I only got halfway across the street. There's right here Fort Worth. It would say Fort Worth, and then Stockyards, and then you would have the rest of the other side of the street. But I ran out of space. You can watch me here as I'm painting in the neon signs. I wish I could have finished it in one setting, but some projects just demand more time. It was getting late. I could have stayed. I could have finished it. Not really. I'm joking. I really needed to let some things dry. It allowed me to think about it. And I have been. And I will go back out there. And I'm going to have to go back out there with a bigger canvas. It's on now. Between me and that vision. See, this is from back further. I don't know. It's probably like a 28 by 30. Something like that. 28 by 30 canvas. 32. I don't know. I could measure it if I need to. It's a standard size. Nothing fancy. Probably picked it up on sale. Sorry. How's everybody doing? I'm Gerald Sestida, the live local artist. I'm painting today, touching at this from Saturday night. I did a live, I think. Oh no, I'm running out of space. Come on, Gerald, get it in. See, that's the scary thing about writing, doing anything. Darn it. Let's see, can I fix that? Is it as bad as I think? We'll see. I tried to cram it in there at the end like a third grader running out of space on his... Do it. Do it. Just put it out there. All right. So we got that part. I've got a little bit of light red here. I'm going to come and cut in. Don't want to get too close. Boots. Letty's Boots and Saddlery. Thanks for watching. You're watching as I'm touching up a weekend endeavor. Now we'll get some dark color. Mix a little white in there. I'm alright with that. I'm using just a little cheap brush here. We're going to cut in around the glow of the... I'll come back with some highlight to enhance the feel of that electric light there. But for now, we're just kind of putting some signage in, so people know where they're at. Fort Worth Stockyards. That's where this was painted. Well, where it started. Yeah, which begs the question. Conversation I've been having with some of my painter friends online. Tell me what you think. Plein air painting, usually interpreted, in my opinion, to be open air painting, which there's one mindset that says that means it's outdoors, and plein air painting is something that is done outdoors and can only be outdoors. I happen to believe that plein air painting is open air painting in the public sphere, not in the studio, not hidden away in the studio of the artist, but in life, out in the open. That's what I think. So a bar scene in the bar, if the painter sets up his easel in a bar and makes a painting of the bar, the people in the bar and what's going on, that would be plein air painting. There are some who would say no, that is not plein air because it is inside. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's either a good painting or not a good painting. But as Pharisees like to say, we were just wondering what you thought. I don't know about that red. We need to make it glow. First, you make it dark. No, I don't think so. Look at that. Clean mineral spirits, ladies and gentlemen. Clean mineral spirits. It makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. I'm going to get a glob of yellow. Oh, look, there was already some here. I'm working off of 2 palettes right now. I've got a few that I've started. And then I have one back here. It's on a little easel. It almost looks like an art piece. So I just put it back there. This is what my little corner of the house looks like. I've got some paintings, that horse painting I'm working on. Some random stuff. Hard hat and prints. Painting I worked on, and another painting I worked on, and another painting I worked on. I'll get the altar of the saints. And then Babylon and gravy. Oh, the yellow. What was I doing with that? Silly me. I forgot. We're mixing that with some red. I'm going to get a funky little color here. So I'm just spreading that color around the perimeter of the neon letters. It's radiated light. And even though it's a glow of light, the neon bulbs themselves cast a shadow. Don't forget that. So you're going to get a dark line in there. But first, we got to mix it up. I'm going to get a little green and a little dark Prussian blue here. And we're going to take that. And we're hitting the backside of the bulbs. All right, that's looking better to me. Still some work to be done, but I got rid of a lot of that primer white, which was bothering me. And to me, that's a big deal. Little steps, baby steps. Okay, now there's a flame, a neon flame there. It's a red neon flame. And it flickers on and off all night long, letting you know that the grill is on. Now I'm going to have to do something to cause that light to jump out from the background there. And contrast is the key in a situation like this. For me, it's going to be a touch of that dark green there and some more of that Prussian blue. Maybe a little touch of burnt sienna to give it a little hoopla. Didn't leave much room for the glow. Uh-oh. We'll see what happens there. I will have to do something about that. I will address that. Maybe I'll just address it with a little dry brush and rub and buff. Rub and buff. I used to be a product. Maybe it's still around. I haven't actually ever used it. But it was like a gold paint. It's for gold leafing. Sort of. We want our pomegranates. Almost acceptable. Let's see what this blue does. Blue. A little holding of the breath. Never hurts to keep a straight line. Spreading it. got to. You got to do what you got to do. That C's a little short there. What did it say? It said parking. There was a parking sign underneath that. Spreading that out. Don't give up. All right, that's looking much, much better. Well, there you have it, folks. Thanks for joining. You got to see me dabble in the paints as I'm continuing working on this rather sizable canvas. Not the biggest, but you know, it's not a 16 by 20 either. Until next time, thanks for watching. I'm Live Local Artist.